The world is not what you think it is. It is not a playground of fairness. It is not a garden of good intentions. It is a battlefield. And on this battlefield, there are only two kinds of people: the players and the pieces, the predators and the prey. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. 500 years ago, in a small farmhouse outside Florence, he wrote a little book called The Prince. It wasn't a manual on how to be good. It was a manual on how to win, how to seize power, how to hold it, and how to destroy anyone who tries to take it from you. Robert Greene took those lessons and distilled them into the 48 Laws of Power. Today, we are going deep. We are combining the raw, unfiltered philosophy of Machiavelli with the modern application of Greene's laws. This is not advice. This is a weapon. Welcome to the masterclass. Machiavelli warned us, it is not the title that honors the man, but the man that honors the title. But Greene adds a crucial warning. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. If you are smarter than your boss, hide it. If you are more talented than your mentor, downplay it. Why? Because insecurity is the most dangerous emotion in the human heart. When you shine too bright, you don't inspire admiration. You inspire fear. And fear breeds destruction. Look at Cesare Borgia, Machiavelli's idol. He knew when to be bold, but he also knew when to play the humble servant to the Pope. He built his power in the shadow of the church until he was strong enough to cast a shadow of his own. Lesson: be a sun at noon, bright, undeniable, but only when you are the one in the sky. Until then, be the moon. Reflect the light of the master, and you will be safe. Men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous. That's Machiavelli. He didn't believe in the power of friendship in politics. He believed in necessity. Friends will betray you out of envy. They will get lazy because they think they are entitled to your favor. But an enemy? An enemy has something to prove. Greene tells the story of Michael III of Byzantium. He saved his friend Basilius from a stable boy's life, gave him money, titles, power. And how did Basilius repay him? He murdered Michael and took the throne. Why? Because gratitude is a burden. Revenge is a pleasure. Hire your enemies. They will be loyal because they have to earn your trust. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Conflict keeps you sharp. Comfort makes you weak. Machiavelli said the prince must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. But the fox comes first. If people know what you want, they can block you. They can predict you. They can destroy you. You must be formless. You must be smoke. Talk endlessly about your desires, but only the fake ones. Throw up a smokescreen of goals and values that mean nothing to you. While they are busy fighting your decoys, you are moving your pieces into position for the checkmate. Otto von Bismarck, the Iron Chancellor, was a master of this. He would publicly support a policy he hated just to lull his opponents into a false sense of security. Then, when the time was right, he would strike with the very policy he truly wanted, and they never saw it coming. Never show your hand until the game is already over. It is better to be impetuous than cautious, Machiavelli wrote. For fortune is a woman, and if you wish to keep her under, you must beat and ill-use her. The world judges by appearances. What is unseen counts for nothing. You must stand out, be controversial, be mysterious, be anything but boring. Pietro Aretino, a writer in the 16th century, made kings and popes fear his pen. He published their secrets. He mocked their hypocrisy. He courted attention so aggressively that they paid him just to be quiet. He created a spectacle of himself, and in doing so, he created power. Don't be a wallflower. Be a scandal. Better to be slandered and attacked than ignored. Attacks mean you matter. Silence means you are nothing. This is the darkest law, and the most necessary. Machiavelli was clear. Men must either be caressed or annihilated. If you injure a man, he will seek revenge. If you destroy him, he can do nothing. This isn't about cruelty. It's about finality. If you leave an enemy with even a spark of hope, a shred of resources, they will recover. They will grow bitter, and they will come back for you. Look at the history of war. Carthage was not just defeated, it was razed to the ground. Its fields were sown with salt. Rome understood that a defeated enemy is still an enemy. A dead enemy is peace. In business, in life, in love, if you fight, fight to win. Don't wound. Kill the problem at the root. Paranoia is the disease of power. You think that by building walls, by shutting people out, you are safe. Machiavelli knew better. A prince who fears his own people more than foreigners ought to build fortresses, but he who has the greater fear of foreigners ought to do without them. Isolation makes you an easy target. It cuts you off from information. It makes you weird, out of touch. You need to be among the people. You need to hear the whispers before they become shouts. Louis XIV built Versailles not just as a palace, but as a golden cage for his nobility. He kept them close, where he could watch them. He didn't hide in a bunker. He created a stage and made everyone an actor in his play. Don't build a fortress. Build a network. Your safety lies in your connections, not your walls. Humans have a desperate need to believe in something. Anything. A cause, a god, a leader. Machiavelli saw how Savonarola, a friar, mesmerized the people of Florence not with logic, but with passion and prophecy. Greene gives us the formula. Keep it vague. Keep it simple. Emphasize the visual. Borrow the forms of organized religion. Create a ritual. Create an us versus them dynamic. Make your followers feel like they are part of a revolution, a chosen few. You don't need to be a messiah. You just need to be a mirror. Reflect their hopes, their fears, their desires back at them. They will follow you into the fire, not because of who you are, but because of how you make them feel about themselves. Fortune favors the bold. It's a cliché because it's true. Machiavelli despised hesitation. He called it the middle way, the path of mediocrity. If you are unsure, do not act. Doubts will infect your execution. But if you act, act with total conviction. Boldness strikes fear into others. It creates an aura of inevitability. Mistakes made with boldness are easily corrected with more boldness. Think of Napoleon. He didn't ask for permission. He didn't wait for the perfect moment. He seized the crown from the Pope's hands and placed it on his own head. That is power. Hesitation creates gaps. Boldness obliterates them. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That is their thumbscrew. Machiavelli knew that men are driven by two things, fear and desire. Find what they fear most, or what they desire most, and you own them. Maybe it's their reputation. Maybe it's their money. Maybe it's their secret insecurity about their intelligence. Cardinal Richelieu, the great French statesman, played the king like a fiddle because he knew the king's thumbscrew, his fear of chaos. Richelieu made himself the only man who could bring order. Observe, listen, probe, find the thumbscrew, and when necessary, turn it. This is the ultimate law, the summary of all others. Machiavelli's prince must adapt. He must change with the times. He who adapts his policy to the times prospers, and likewise that one whose policy clashes with the demands of the times does not. Rigidity is death. The Spartan army was the greatest in the world until the world changed, and they couldn't adapt. They died clinging to their old ways. Be like water. Take the shape of your container. If the times call for cruelty, be cruel. If they call for mercy, be merciful. If they call for silence, be silent. Do not have a fixed identity. Do not have a fixed morality. Have a goal, and be whatever form is necessary to achieve it. These laws are not for the faint of heart. They are cold. They are calculated. They are dangerous. But ignorance is more dangerous. To pretend these dynamics don't exist is to be a sheep in a world of wolves. You have the book. You have the knowledge. The question is, do you have the stomach? This is the master class. Class dismissed.